enough to unite the Democratic Party after he lost the primary race in 2016.
I won by 4 million votes. I won overwhelmingly in delegates. There was no question about who was going to be the nominee. But unfortunately, his campaign and his principal supporters were just very difficult and really constantly not just attacking me, but my supporters. We get to the convention, they're booing Michelle Obama, John Lewis. I mean, it was very distressing.
Joining me now is the host of that interview, Emily Tisch Sussman of Your Primary Playlist, Jonathan Capehart of The Washington Post, E.J. Dionne, author of Code Red, How Progressives and Moderates Can Unite to Save Our Country. And joining me here at the table here in Des Moines is Jennifer Palmieri, former White House Communications Director in the Obama administration. Thank you all for being here. Let me go to you, Emily, on this first. Let me play just one. I'm going to play one more little clip of it. This is talking about whether or not Bernie Sanders can unify the party now, because that clip we played before was about whether or not he did enough to try to unify the party in 2016. Here's just one more clip. This is cut two, my producers.
Senator Sanders does have he has a very dedicated base of support. Whether he's the nominee, whether he's not the nominee, he does have a big hand. He has a lot of influence. So what do you think that he can do, whether he's the nominee or not nominee, to help get to that point of unifying people against Trump?
Well, he can do it, for one. That's not our experience from 2016, and that was the point I was making.
You know, Emily, it feels like 2016 really is the never-ending story. It's like a nightmare we can't wake up from. You just keep waking up and it's Groundhog Day over and over and over again. Why did you get the sense that Hillary Clinton was willing to be this open and this blunt, knowing the stakes now in needing to unify the party? What did you get the sense of why she wanted to be this open?
She was very open about it, and as you could see from the questions that I was asking, we were really trying to get to the core of what so many voters are weighing above everything else, which is, how do you defeat Donald Trump? We hear this in every state. We hear it across every demographic. What's unusual about this year is that people are willing to set aside what may be their own preferences around policy, around personality, and prioritizing a candidate that they think can unify others and can bring others along. So the question of who will actually have a broad base of appeal is incredibly relevant. It's on top of everyone's minds. Even though the Iowa voters have the responsibility of voting first and really setting the tone, they're thinking about it too. They're not just looking to set their own track. You hear this from Iowa voters everywhere. So it is a very important question. And why I felt it was an important question to pose to the secretary is that she was because we actually spoke about both races where she was in a competitive primary, both in 2016 and in 2008, and how exactly both of those instances played out. How she had a conversation when she wasn't the nominee with Barack Obama, when she was the nominee with Bernie Sanders, how she actually had that conversation. Look, Bernie Sanders either is or is not going to be the nominee, but he will have a very significant role in this race no matter who it is. So he does have a responsibility in that sense.